Tuesday, the 4th of November. If it's time to vote where you live, I hope you vote. Anymore, it seems like the vote doesn't make any difference, but it's supposedly power that we have, so let's use it. Well, I was very happy to receive some VCLT and another package yesterday in the mail. So I got some new records without going to the record store yesterday, and that was nice. From two different sources, and I'll do this one first because I need to come back to it. My first impression was okay. I would say probably more to this than just being okay. So I will come back to it, but I will let you know that John Dawson, who sent me music over the years of his projects, Third of Never sent me the latest. Third of Never Damaged the Pearl original soundtrack. This is to me, it strikes me as an American rock sound, where you hear that bluesiness and then touches of psychedelia. I thought that I caught here that he had some guest people on here. John Bundrick, Rabbit, who apparently they're friends. They've recorded before. Rabbit Bundrick, bluesy player who's played with a lot of folks. I think he also has on here Steve Kilby from the band The Church. So I have to come back to this. My first impression was this is okay, but he's working with people who have background, and there must be something here, you know what I'm saying, to qualify that. So I'm be coming back to this. My initial impression was it's okay. He also sent me two more pieces by one of the people in the band or one of the producers, John Guy Barwick, Coastal Chase. And best part of this one, I've given all these an initial listen. The Bipolaroids originals. Best part of this one to me is the name of the band. Interesting that I never heard anyone do that play on the word bipolar and Polaroid. That's clever. The music seems kind of, no offense, but it does just kind of strike me as more of the same. Boy, I've heard this before, kind of a fairly run-of-the-mill is the only thing I can think of. Run-of-the-mill type of American sound. But like I said, I'm going to come back to it, listen to it more deeply. I appreciate, John, over the years that you share your music with me. We actually, years ago, had a bit of a disagreement or whatever, a harsh moment. It happens, doesn't it? I got your package, Arty. Thank you. Arty is someone who sent me music before, and also someone who I've exchanged words with before. Because I stand my ground, I'm saying, as far as who I am. I don't have people telling me my business. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Those of you who know what I'm saying know what I'm talking about. Well, Arty let me know a while back in the comments that he was going to send me the latest Orb album because he didn't think much of it. And so he did, plus two other records. This is the new album by the Orb. It's the limited edition Buddhist Hipsters. So I'm assuming that Arty bothered to pre-order this or order this because it comes with a signed flat, signed by Alex Patterson there and the other main guy, whatever his name is. Buddhist Hipsters. This is not as good as their last album, Prism. So I have to say that I understand, at least from that point of view, what Arty was saying. He didn't get into this. Well, I've listened to this, and this sounds to me like they're on cruise. Like the last album, this is the limited edition, nice vinyl. Prism Orb, which I played a lot, and I've talked about a lot, actually. I think is really good, and it has a couple of tracks on it that are bangers. I mean, really good. There's nothing to that level on here. Side 4, Quran, is probably the most enjoyable ambient piece on here. Actually, the album starts with Spontaneously Combust, and it sounds like a parody of the Orb. It sounds like a parody of the band itself, where it's parodying when they had Ricky Lee Jones words being used on Fluffy Clouds to great effect. Not the same on this track. I did notice on one of the other tracks that they sampled the band Rasputin's Stash. So I got a kick out of that, recognizing that they were sampling that album. Thanks for sharing this with me, Arty. It definitely goes into my Orb collection. I do like it, but it does sound like they kind of phoned it in. Interestingly, the other two records that you sent me, both of them I like better, and I like them very much. Stefan Vitiello with Brendan Canty. Brendan Canty has done other things related to punk music, if I got that right. I like this. This is Second is the name of the album. It sounds like it's mostly improvised and played live together. There are parts where there's a bit of sloppiness to me on the drums where the beat is slightly dropped. But overall, the feeling of this album and these jams are very nice. Kind of relaxed, comfortable, spacey. All instrumental with Han Ro on bass. I like this. I like this better than the Orb. Pretty good, actually. Stefan Vitiello with Brendan Canty. Second. This is new, 2025. This is good. Thank you, Arty. And this, thank you, because I never see this guy's records. I like Steve Hauschild, and I have him in my video selections USB. That's how I discovered this guy years ago. Electronic, similar to Ulrich Schnauz, kind of a smooth, even Boards of Canada a little bit. I like this a lot. Dissolve. I like this one a lot. Interestingly, the two records besides the Orb that you sent me, that were sent to me, I like better. This is very nice. I like this a lot. Real nice. Thank you. Thank you very much. Like I said, the timing was great. So in the comments right quick, someone said that I posted 2 songs last weekend on the channel. No sales as a result. Unfortunately, I was hoping I'd get a sale out of it, but I didn't. But someone said, I think I've got some vocals for that, Dereck, for the track Outflow. I don't want any vocals on that. Outflow is a very flowing ambient piece. I do really side with the fellas from Genesis, where it's like, for the most part, I don't want vocals on my music. Thanks for thinking that you got something, but I'm really not interested. Chances are I would be ultra critical. Now, see, the thing is, even with my messed up teeth, I I know how to sing, and I can sing, and I stopped singing because that was leading to abuse in the church by the deacons and stuff. Because once they found out that I had a really angelic voice and started asking me to do solos, well, what would happen after church service was just disgusting. I thought you thought I was something special, and now you want to do this to me. That's some PTSD that I talked about with my friend Nick. That has affected me to the point where I'm a single person. It's like a lot of times it's like I don't want anybody. Don't touch me, motherfuckers. But what I'm saying, to get back to my original point, is that I can, just like I can play a lot of the instruments, I can sing. So my criticism of vocals is not based on that, but it's like there are many times it's like, if somebody had to sing, well, let me do it. I can do better than that. But also in response to Sean asking me what is it specifically about vocals that I don't like. Just generally speaking, there's just a lot of what we say in the words. It's like it's empty. It's said before. I don't need to hear it, and a lot of times it gets in the way of some good music. Been like this since I was a kid. I hear from Cosmic Drifter, I love your spirituality, outlook on life, and great passion for music, and I always did. Well, I'm just the same old person I've been. If you've been watching me for years, you can see Dereck is Dereck. Ain't no bullshit here. So before I go, yesterday the tinnitus subsided as the day went. So this morning it's very nice. It's over a week since I've had a nice day like this. So yesterday I did play a couple of records, a couple of old records from the collection that I haven't played in a while. Once again, prompted by the fact that I have a new stylus and I'm being very careful with it so I can hear the difference. I'd been playing records with a worn stylus for years, okay? And there was a whole lot of reasons why it took me forever to finally track down a new stylus. It's just one of those things. But I played this and just love this album. And happy to find out that the record's in better shape than I thought it was. Bo Hansen, Attic Thoughts. Love that cover. Does it fit the music? In a sense it does. It really does. But I just love this, and it's perfect for this label. Bo Hansen's music is perfect for the Charisma label. It just really fits the aesthetic in my mind of what this label represents. This music is fanciful. It's like music that's coming from a complete world of its own that I recognize and in ways would want to live there. Attic Thoughts. I have his other main records. Magician's Hat is one of my top albums of all time. But I hadn't played this in years and really enjoyed it yesterday. Really love this music. Another one that I have not played in well over 10 years. It was overdue for a revisit because this is actually one of the oldest records in my collection. This goes back to high school. This was given to me by the Reese brothers back in 73 or 4 when we graduated. This album is awesome. Getting to know you all. Getting to know y'all. The 1969 recording of a meeting in Europe of folks from Europe and basically the art ensemble of Chicago. This is incredibly intense. and it's also not all improvised. It involves compositions by Lester Bowie and Terry Ripdahl. His group is on here, plus Karen Krogh. But the main piece here, which is a 30-minute half-hour piece called "Getting to Know Y'all" by the Baden Baden Free Jazz Orchestra. Wow. Okay. Wow. I mean, it. You want to talk about sparks flying? I mean, it really does. It starts off, and then it hits to a point, and then the Joseph Jarman and Roscoe Mitchell in particular, and Lester Bowie, they push the band. You hear it because they start shouting, "Where are the voices?" Then they start yelling and screaming, and at first you can hear it. It's like the other musicians, "What's going on here? What do we do?" And in a little while, some of them join in their own way, and then the music starts back up and just takes off, just boom. So on here, the personnel is amazing. Every Everyone from Lester Bowie to Kenny Wheeler, Albert Mangelsdorf, Alan Skidmore, Gerd Dudek, Roscoe Mitchell, Heinz Sauer, John Sermon, William Breuker, Terry Ripdahl, Dave Burrell on piano to great effect. Dave Burrell, if you don't know his piano playing, whew. Plus Leo Kuipers on piano, prepared piano, Barry Phillips along with Pal Danielson on basses, 3 drummers, Steve McCall, Claude Delclue, and Tony Oxley. Get out of here. And then the Terry Ripdahl group, and Karen Krogh, and the William Breuker John Sermon duo. It had been way too long since I'd listened to this album. This is a French pressing, MPS. Interesting, the French version of the MPS label. Amazing. Amazing. This is a record I don't know that it ever got reissued. I don't know if it has or not, but Getting to Know Y'all, the Baden Baden Free Jazz Orchestra. Incredible, incredible work. And I listened to one other album because it's like, it's seldom that I listen to Egberto Gismonti, but when I do, it's like this man is on genius level, and he doesn't repeat himself. Brazilian musician. So this is one he made with Nana Vasconcelos. Duas vozes, 2 voices, I'm thinking is what it means. This is 1984. I think this is about the time that I got to see them live and meet them. I got to meet them after the concert here in Omaha. It was stunning, and like this album, it's not anything typical. This is so cool that at one point I forgot what I was listening to because I could not identify right away from listening to it that it was Egberto Gismonti. They'd gotten off into this very fanciful part of the music. This is wonderful stuff. Egberto Gismonti with Nana Vasconcelos. That's what I have for you today, folks. So thinking about the vocal thing, one of the last times I visited with Doug Wesselman, who I have the Higgins 12 project with, he said, why don't you write something for me, And I said, yeah, I'll think about that. And nothing's come to me yet because I don't generally operate with the vocals in mind. I operate on music. Music is what stimulates me. But I have some stuff. I actually have some tracks where I've already done the music, and it's like, well, that's really what I'm thinking of doing because nothing is coming. If you see this, Doug, no new ideas have started in my mind that say, present this to Doug. More what I'm thinking of is looking at some of the material I have already and thinking, I wonder if this would strike his fancy. So that's something that we need to do is have a listening session to see if indeed I have any music that inspires him. At this point, I'm not inspired to write for his voice. Not yet. Not that it won't happen. I need to remember to come in here with a full cup when I make these videos. So yeah. Okay. Legendary Pink Dots, the person who shared his video of them playing in Denver, I watched most of it. Edward Caspell is quite a unique character. And he's been on my channel here before, and interestingly, he will make comments at times on my Facebook page, like a real friend. I can have him on again. It just hasn't occurred to me. I haven't, I don't have a personal reason to have him back on, but I could. Same with the idea of bringing up Gel Biafra. I really don't have a reason to call him. It could happen, though. He has records. He has my first 2 EPs, which are very hard to find. My first 2 Dereck 7-inches, he has them. And that was part of why I have his number, because he tracked me down after I first met him. I'm trying to get those records of yours. And he's a vinyl junkie. He said, I really want to get those records of yours. And I saved him copies and eventually got them to him years later. So that's where it's at. That's where it's at this morning. I just want to see some good news about politics, and I'm not seeing it. And I'm just completely disappointed in adults in America that this travesty with this obviously mentally ill, horrible human being is the president. He hates people. He hates us. And it just goes on. It's very bizarre. Such a shitty double standard. Like I say, anybody else, doing and saying the things he does, they'd have been locked up a long time ago. Why is this happening? Why does this have to go on? It just irritates me because it's wrong. It's wrong. Okay, that's enough. I'm not going to go off into that. I hope everyone is well. Oh, one more thing. I see by one post that supposedly Dick Cheney has died. Well, let's see how they handle that, because that man was a monster, okay? That man was a monster. It was caught. It's been documented that I won't go there, okay? I won't go there. The cats are doing fine. Cats are doing fine here in the neighborhood. Okay, folks, let's try to spread some love and good cheer. Let's try to be good to one another.